Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with the topic that speaks about how to stay motivated as a young man, how to stay motivated as a young man. And I want to start today by saying visualize accomplishing your goals. Visualize accomplishing your goals. So when you don't visualize your tomorrow, you'll not actually be motivated for your tomorrow. If you don't visualize for your next year and your future, you'll never actually be motivated for your future. So it is therefore very important that if you want to stay motivated, start visualizing. Now, I want you to understand that visualization is a concept of mind. You need to actually frame your mind to start seeing ahead of you. Be able to see things beyond the eyes. Be able to see things beyond what you can see with your naked eyes. Let your mind see ahead of you. Let your mind visualize things happening. Let your mind see you accomplishing your goals. You remember we spoke about goals? Yes. And we said that you must set smart goals? Yes. And those smart goals, if you remember, we said it must be smart because they must be specific, those goals. And we said they must be smart because they are measurable. And we said also that they must be smart because they are achievable as well. And those goals must be realistic in nature. And we have said that they must be time bound. They must be related to time. So therefore, if you are setting this type of goals, you must visualize them happening. You must visualize them being accomplished. You must visualize them being completed and being achieved. Because if you don't visualize your goals as achieved, you're going to struggle actually to pursue them. You're going to struggle to take even a step forward to say, I want to achieve these goals. Now, you must see the end before you start. And God does that in life. That when God calls us, He generally walks the path that we're going to walk. He goes to the end. And after seeing the end, He comes back to the beginning. And He sets us up on the path in the beginning without knowing the end that is ahead of us. But I want to urge you to be with that mind of God. The mind of God says you must see the end before you begin. When you see the end before you begin, and you see the pleasure of the end, the beauty of the end, the successes of the end, the fulfillment of the end before you start, you're going to be motivated through the path because you have seen the end in the beginning. And I want to urge you to understand this concept, because when you are actually seeing or visualizing your goals in advance, you're basically seeing the success and the benefit actually of your goals when you have achieved them. When you see them, then you are able to start and be motivated. Let's take it for an example. If you are a young man who want to be a doctor, for instance, I want you, when you are studying at school and you feel demotivated, I want you to picture a doctor in your vicinity, the one that you admire the most, the one that you like to be like, the one that you see as a role model. Look at the successes of that doctor. Look at the brilliance of what that doctor does. Look at the breakthroughs that doctor does. Look at the achievements that he does. And when you look at that, it is actually the visualization of the accomplishment of what you want to be. This is a goal of yours, but please look at the accomplishment of that goal from the very same person that has achieved that which you want to achieve. And this becomes motivating, because then you forever walk in this path, even though it may not be easy. Can I mention that the road towards goals and achievements and breakthroughs and so on is not an easy road, because it's a challenging road, because it's actually a lot of demotivation along the way. And that is why the enemy always attacks when he knows that what you're going to achieve is very powerful. The enemy will attack you by demotivating you. That becomes a weapon of the enemy generally. That will make you demotivated, because he knows that if you see and visualize the achievements that are ahead of you, you're going to be more powerful, because you're going to walk with motivation. You're going to walk with more vigor and understanding that you're going to achieve, because you can see right before you arrive. You can see the achievement of of what you want to do before you arrive. And that's very key, that we emphasize that you visualize the accomplishment of yours before you arrive there. That is motivating enough. But I want to say also that be kind to yourself, because there are many of us who are actually demotivating ourselves by being too harsh to ourselves. You are actually having a very high expectations upon yourself, which is great. But when you expect a lot from yourself, please also be graceful towards yourself. Be lenient towards yourself. Be reasonable towards yourself. We spoke about realistic goals earlier. There are those of us who set unrealistic goals and become tough upon ourselves while we know for sure that we've been unrealistic with our goals. Now, you cannot be unrealistic with a goal, yet be harsh with yourself. Because when you become harsh with yourself and hard with yourself about something that is unrealistic, you're going to discourage yourself, of course. You are demotivating yourself. Now, motivation comes out of being kind with yourself. You must actually understand some situations are not going to be easy. You must understand there are mountains to climb along the way. You must understand there are rivers to cross along the way. You must understand there are valleys to go through along the way. There are tough situations along the way, even though goals are realistic, even though success is ahead of you. But remember that because it's not going to be easy, therefore, be lenient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and please make sure that because you are kind with yourself, you become reasonable in judging yourself so that you don't discourage yourself and you don't demotivate yourself. This is very key, because many times we demotivate ourselves by being harsh to ourselves, even in things that we could actually achieve. But then we end up not achieving because we have been too harsh to ourselves. Now, I want to also say that don't compare yourself to others, because there are many of us that are actually demotivating ourselves by simply comparing ourselves with others. And I want to emphasize that you are a unique human being who is your own person. You are not the person next door. You are not like your next door neighbor. You're not like your friend next door. You're not like your relative. You're not like your brother. So you are a unique human being made out of unique genes of God and being given a unique purpose and direction. So therefore, you are you and they are they. And this is very important, that you adopt a spirit of saying, I am I and you are you. So I cannot compare myself with other people because they are not me. And they are unique on their own and I'm unique on my own. The skill sets that I possess is not the same skill sets that other people have. The path that I take is not the same path that other people are taking. Remember, the background that you have is not the same background with the person that you compare yourself with. And also, remember, you're not born from the same womb. Even if you were born from the same womb, you are different beings as well. With your own brothers and your own sisters, you are not the same as well. So you cannot compare yourself with other people and yet expect to be motivated. Because that demotivates, because there are those people that seems to be achieving more way before us. There are those people that seem to be achieving more way actually before us, in a way that we think that we are far behind. We think that we are actually left behind and we cannot succeed. And I want to urge you as a young man that remember that you are you and they are they. And therefore you cannot be the same. And you cannot expect the things to be the same either. And I want to urge you as a young man to rise up and believe in yourself and know that you cannot compare yourself with anyone. Not with your friends, not with the people around you, not even with your own siblings. Don't compare yourself, because we are unique human beings made by God with different purposes and visions. And God has actually trusted us with the visions that He put upon us because we are unique. We are made in a different way. And that is why we are focusing on different things. And that is why we are called for different directions. And that is why we can never be the same. So please don't compare yourself with other people, because otherwise that will demotivate you and you'll find yourself demotivated. Now, if you want to remain motivated, Don't compare yourself with other people. I want to check out right here your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for being part of this great teaching. And I hope you've learned out of it. You've been part of it from the beginning, from part 1. If you have never heard from part 1 and part 2 coming forward, this was part 5, of course. So we're having 4 parts before this. So please remember to follow those lessons on our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. Like that page, the page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, like that as well. But don't forget our YouTube channel as well. So please make sure that you follow us on our YouTube channel, Micornus Phokane. Search us on that, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Click that notification button so that you may be notified of anything that comes up, anything that we post on this platform, and you shall be blessed as you follow us. May the good Lord bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say, your host, Micornus Phokane, once more. Allow me to say cheers for now.